Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have the honor here tonight to hear some speeches about family. Family is one of the best things that can happen to a person. I know sometimes family members can get under your skin, but family is always there for you when you are down or when you are at your best. Tonight, we have a great list of speakers, from teenagers to middle-aged men and women. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker of the night is Jamila Doris. She is 37 years old and the mother of 5 wonderful kids. She has been married for an amazing 19 years. As many of you know, she had to make some very difficult decisions in her life that no one should have to make at such a very young age. She's going to take you through a journey of joy, resentment, and hope. You will learn how her journey had made her the person she is today. So please welcome Jamila Doris.
Hi, I'm Jamila. I'm excited to speak with you guys tonight about the events in my life that actually made me who I am today. I'm going to take you guys through a journey about how my life began and where it is now. The first thing I want to talk about is joy. Becoming a spouse and a mother or father is supposed to be the most incredible thing in the world. That's what you think about. Abundant joy, Nothing can take that away, right? On October 31st, at the age of 17, I was married to my childhood sweetheart. On December 8th, we welcomed our first child to the world. A couple years later, we actually had a second child. Heartache. On April 1st, my son was only 3 months old. There was an accident at our home, and DFS was called on us. And at the age of 3 months old, they came and took my son from me. And I spent the next 5 years fighting the system for my son. Once we had my daughter, it should have been a joyous time. It should have been time for bonding. What mother doesn't want a little baby girl to dress up? And, we found that it was very hard to bond with a new baby because we were always in the constant fear of somebody coming and taking that away from us. We continued to fight for about 5 years, and in November, about 6 months later, that horrible thing that we thought was going to happen happened. They did come and for no reason took my 6-month-old daughter. So then I had that really hard decision of after 5 years, I had my oldest come up to me and say, "Mommy, why can't I live with you?" If I would no child, I had to ask that question. So I had to make that decision of, do I continue to be selfish and allow them to deal with that pain, or do I make the selfless decision and take that burden on myself and let them go? And so we chose, as parents, we chose to let them go. And we chose to let somebody else raise them just so that they would never feel like they had done anything wrong. I wanted them to live normal lives. After about that 5 years, they were adopted shortly after. They lived out in Pocahontas. So for them to be very close but still not be a part of our lives has been very difficult. Hope. Throughout the years, I've never ever stopped thinking about my children. Not a holiday has gone by, not a birthday, that I have not just sat and cried because they weren't with me. Even if we had other children, we still just long for them. And it was one of those things, we never got to see them. And so, hope. If I had kept hope throughout all of this, my life would be totally different. The way I handled things would have been different. The way I looked at things would have been different. Now, I have a 19-year-old. He was diagnosed with Asperger's. And I'm super proud of him. He actually just graduated in May, something we thought that he would not have been able to do. And I got to be part of that, something that I never thought that I'd get to be part of. I never thought that I'd see him walk down the aisle, to graduate. And then I have a 7-year-old who's got a part-time job. She has amazing grades. She will actually graduate in May, and we have to see them now. My other children get to be a part of their lives. I've always asked myself, what's going to happen when they get older? Are they going to want to see me? Are they going to want me to be their mom? Am I going to get to be grandma? All things that as a parent, that's what you look forward to. I never looked forward to that. I assumed that that was never gonna happen. So in the last couple of months, we have actually reunited with our children. And they still live with their adoptive parents, but we do see them frequently. We've seen them probably 4 or 5 times in the last couple of months. And they'll come into my daughter's birthday party, and so family just, the moral is just that family is really, really important. And that even though you have bad things that happen, you can make something positive out of it. So even if your situation is bad and you think that there's no reason to keep going, and there's no reason to continue to have hope about it, don't give up, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know down the line. It could have been for the thing, because that's my thought. I always said that no matter what, and that's how I got through it, no matter what, my children are here for a purpose, and it doesn't matter whether it's me or whether they're with somebody else, they're going to do great things. And standing here today, I can tell you that both of my children are doing great things, and I'm just lucky that I get to be part of that now.
The longest speech of the day.
You see the longest with the early one.
No, keep going. Just keep going.
Our next speaker here tonight is not only here as a lovely family member, but to also input his clinical experience as well. Having worked several years in patient support as a respiratory therapist, he has assisted many people in many necessary changes to addictive habits to help them live healthier lives. His close connection with his family, as well as his concern and understanding of the power of nicotine addiction, is sure to have a profound impact at today's intervention. He is here today to be the voice of many other relatives who all fear health and well-being of Grandpa Frank. He will illustrate some pros and cons of being a quitter, as well as reinforcing to Grandpa he has the ability to make his commitment. He will attempt to show Grandpa that the impact he has made on his family, and that they are all in his corner cheering him on, and will do whatever they can to support him in making this decision to quit smoking. Please give a warm welcome to Jeff Johnson.
Hello everybody, I'm Jeff, and thank you all for being here tonight. Along keeping the same roads as Jamila with how important family is, we're all here tonight to have an intervention for Grandpa Frank. Grandpa Frank's been a smoker, as you all know, for over 40 years, and he's finally starting to see a little decrease in his health. Enough, in fact, that he's actually starting to get concerned. Now, as being the only one of his 4 children who has any medical experience, I'll be the first one to talk to him tonight. And as we all know, Grandpa's one of those guys who likes right to the point. He doesn't like anybody to give him any kind of excuses, any kind of BS. So with that mindset, I'm going to be the one to do it first. I'm going to talk to him about a few things. And first, I want to give him some of the pros and cons about why it's important to quit smoking. Then I also want to hit him real easy with how it's not going to be as hard as he thinks it's going to be in order to go and accomplish this. And then finally, I want to let him know that if he doesn't want to make the decision, only for his own self, but keep in mind that his family is important to him and his family does care about him, so that should be enough reason alone. So let's go ahead and let's bring him in. Now, Grandpa, we've gathered you here today to discuss an issue that's been the elephant in the room for many years, and we've all gotten together with you to voice our feelings of what your smoking has done to you and what it's done to us as a whole. Now, your smoking has been more than just an inconvenience of stinky, smoky clothes and a hacky cough that won't go away. As a respiratory therapist, I've seen what the end stages of COPD and emphysema can do to people. It's brutal for me to watch my patients go through that, and it's even harder for them to experience it. I know that you've tried and successfully quit more than one time in your life. And we can use that in our favor. Most people who try and fail, it's because of a lack of willpower, motivation, and you're not that type of person. You're very strong-minded. We're going to use those attributes that you have to make us successful in trying to get you through this. Make it sure that you never go back again. I have all the faith in the world that you have the personality to get through this. Perhaps as a family, we can all pitch in, making sure that you don't get bored. People's boredom and lack of motivation are the reasons why they fall back off the wagon and start smoking again. If we all pitch in and we all take time to visit you and do some activities, new and old, experience new things with you. Go out, somebody take you hunting, somebody take you fishing, all the things that you like to do. Let's just not put you in a position where you have nothing else to think about, but man, I miss that cigarette. Let's also talk about some of the pros and cons. For example, just 12 hours after you've stopped smoking cigarettes, all that carbon monoxide is out of your blood. The poison's gone. Within 72 hours, your breathing starts to get a little easier. By 10 days, the cravings have pretty much passed and the nicotine no longer controls you. And after 5 years, you've saved over $4,000. The cons? Well, there really are none. Unless you consider not being able to go outside and take a smoke break at work. Finally, I just want to remind you that if quitting isn't for yourself enough of a reason, just take a look around the room at your family. Do it for us. Do it for the grandkids that haven't had a chance to spend any real time with you. Don't cut their experience short of knowing the great man that I grew up with. Selfishly, we all want as much time as we can with you, and the younger generation deserves a chance to be around you and learn from you just like we did. You have so much to offer the world, and I know that you would, like my children, you would like my children to have a chance to be around that man just as much as I did, rather than just a memory and a bunch of stories. I hope that you accept this offer of help that we want to give you. I hope that you've listened to, I hope you listened to everyone else who's going to speak here tonight. I hope that you were able to understand that the pros do outweigh the cons. It really won't be that hard. And that if you don't want to do it for us. Thank you.
It is my honor to introduce our next and last speaker of the night, Ashley McLean. Ashley is here to deliver a eulogy for her elder sister, Alicia. Growing up, Alicia and Ashley were very close and could always be seen together. I'm sure plenty of you know that Alicia has always looked up to her older sister and has shared many fond memories with her. So without further ado, here is our next speaker, Ashley McLean.
When I looked at my older sister, I always thought that she was the type of person I wanted to be when I grew up. She was dainty in the way that she carried herself. And now that I'm older, I try to emulate her in my everyday life. She was the glue to my family. She was the person you called when life felt like it didn't make sense or things felt chaotic. She was soft, she was kind, she was thoughtful. She had this energy about her that made you feel like things are going to be okay. Alicia was always an angel, and I was always the devil on her shoulder. Whenever she did anything wrong, it was usually done because I had convinced her to do it. So, I remember this one time when we got into a ton of trouble together. I was 8 and she was 10, and we had this game called the closet game. The closet was a 3-foot by 3-foot room inside the closet that had 2 doors to it. It was pretty dusty, smelled pretty bad, and we were told we weren't supposed to play in there. But in the closet game, we had 2 players. There was the prisoner and there was the guard. The guard would lean against the 2 doors, and the prisoner would be inside, and the prisoner had to guess the password to get out. And if you got it wrong, you had to stay in there for 20 more seconds. And we loved it. We played all the time. We thought it was so fun. So one summer day, we decided to play. So it was her turn first. I threw a teddy bear and like some Oreos in there for her, so she went in there. So we started playing the game. I had my back against the two doors, and she started guessing, and finally she got it right. But whenever she got it wrong, we would always bang on the door and be like, "Let me out! I need help! I can't breathe!" Just because we thought it was funny to freak out. So after she gets out, she gets it right. She gets out. Now it's my turn, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of getting bored. We've been playing this for like 2 years, really 2 years. And I was like, let's do something different. So I run down to the basement, and I grab this lock that was open. And I'm like, okay, now we can like actually lock each other in there. That'd be really funny. So I climb in there, get settled. I hear her close the doors, get to hear the lock get fastened. So I'm like, all right, all fun and games, let's play. So it takes me a little bit, but I finally get the game, and I guessed pancake, and it was right. So I'm like, all right, time to let me out. She's like, okay, how? And I'm like, you just pull it up. She's like, it's not working. And I'm like, just pull it up, you're not doing it right. She's like, it is not working. And I'm like, how? And so she's like, it's really not coming out. And after she said that, I felt my heart drop to my stomach. I was like, what do you mean I'm not getting out? Like, so as soon as she said that, the room that was probably about 80 degrees, it was not air conditioned, felt like it was boiling. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die. I start banging on the door, start wailing, get on the ground, start screaming. I'm like, someone get me out of here. So she keeps trying to get it open, and she's like, I can't get it open, I can't get it open. So finally, we give in, and she goes to get Dad. And you don't want to be doing stuff like that around my dad. He comes in, he's like, what are you girls doing? He's like, we're unlocked in the closet, Dad. And he's like, okay, I don't have a lock cutter, so you'll be in there, I have to go to Lowe's and buy one. So I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, once I heard that, it was done. So I started screaming, rolling on the ground again, started like wailing. I remember I was covered in sweat because I was like freaking out. And I had tears everywhere. And my dad goes to Lowe's to get the lock cutter. It's about a 5-minute drive from my house, and it's probably taken about 15 minutes to get it and to come back. So I was just ready to put up a fit the whole time, and all of a sudden, I hear something come through. This music. This is the Jonas Brothers, which was our favorite brand. It was the year 3000, and she puts the amp here, and she puts the other amp here, and all of a sudden it's blasting, and I'm like, and I hear her, I've been to I'm like, okay, so I kind of get up, even though I can't stand all the way up, and we start singing and dancing in there. And I remember if it wasn't for her doing that, I probably would have passed out. I was belligerent, and you know, that was just the type of person Alicia was. She was a quick thinker. She was there when you needed her. She just did stuff like that for everyone, you know. So I know you guys would probably agree that she surely will be missed.
Again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight to this wonderful event. We heard a lot of great speeches about family and how they are loved and cherished no matter what happens. Please have a safe drive home, and thank you.